Hey guys, it's Dustin here, the Pro Picker, here with another thrift store run video. Appreciate you guys stopping in. Starting today at the closest Goodwill to my house. They even mentioned, hey, there you are, and we're just talking about apparently I haven't come in yet. So I am officially a regular and probably come here too often. So also I'm going to be doing the Salvation Army in this video. My batteries die somewhere in there. However, by the time the battery does for my GoPro, I actually do catch on film everything that I do purchase. So I'll be able to touch on everything that I buy with you guys. So yeah, I think we have a pretty awesome video in store. So I do make a couple pretty big buys in the sense of they're kind of items I normally don't touch. So I think that'll be pretty interesting. And at the end of the video, going to be touching on some different things. So the first thing I do in the Goodwill is head to the back to see if they've added any new inventory or put out a new stock cart. There is one, well, 1.5 really it looks like. And the first thing I see is this wireless and network adapter. An identical open box one sold for like $32. They only want $2.99, so that's an absolute buy for me. There was actually multiple sales on that. And those little NASCAR cars, most of them are worthless. I scanned it just in case. I do end up passing on it and putting that back. Down here, I see like this, I guess, strainer slash shredder pan or whatever it is. And what's inside of it is a manual for like some kind of electrical appliance. So I end up putting it back. I don't know if I should or not. I do grab this guy here. So this is like a Premier 2100 pan. And there's a lot of them listed for some pretty good money. Well, 3 or 4 of them listed, excuse me. But none of them have sold through. So at $5, I'm going to take a stab at it and go ahead and pick it up and just underprice the competition and see if I can move it. It does seem like a very quality made in the USA pan. So figured I will give it a shot. Feeling a little gamble there today. Now, I do see it's beneath the Cuisinart and everything, the Sunbeam bread maker, and it's worth about $70 shipped in its condition. They do want $25 for it. I'm just not going to make any money if I go for it, so I do put it back. If you look at it, it'd be like $20 to ship, $45 right there. Fees are going to be about $10, $55. I might make $15 if I'm lucky. Just not enough meat on the bone there for $25 plus tax investment. I do see a couple decanters. And if you're a regular on the channel, you know I love buying ashtrays and I love buying decanters. They do always sell. It just varies how long it takes to sell them. And they can be kind of annoying to ship. However, I still buy them. I'm a sucker for them. This one's only $2.99, so I think I'll get about $25 for it. These Blatz beer cups or glasses are really cool. And here's the other decanter they want $4.99 for. I grab it too. It's a little more than I like to pay for them. However, I think I'll get about $25 for it as well, shipped. So not crazy money, but I do usually just cobble together 2 6x6x6 boxes to ship them with, or maybe something a little bigger. I don't get the Blatz beer glass because at $2.99 a piece, I wouldn't be able to make any money on them. Going into the Salvation Army here, this is where I really score the big buys of the day, quite honestly. And I think you guys are going to be surprised what I actually pick up today. It's a little out of character for me. So initially here, I start off by checking out the showcase. It's been since Thursday since I've been in the store, which is a really long time for me not to have been to the Salvation Army. They have all these knives, And I almost do buy some J.A. Hinkle's knives, which are okay, but there wasn't many of them, so I do end up passing. They really didn't want much for these sets, so quite honestly, if you're in the Dayton area and need some knives or want them, the Cuisinart ones were cool. There was one right there, and then there was a bunch of the Cuisinart knives here. I was kind of thinking about getting them for us, but the last thing we need to do is buy stuff for ourselves, as we have enough stuff sitting around as it is. So I do end up passing. I may have done okay. I forget how cheap they were actually selling individual knives, lotting those together. The Cuisinart. So the SAS San Antonio shoes here, they're in okay shape. There is some front wear. They're half off right now, so they only be like $1.50. I actually do end up putting them back. I just take them around the store to visit other areas of the store for a while. But these particular SAS shoes just aren't as valuable, and I think the size would hurt it, so I just end up passing entirely. And see this game set here, nothing too crazy, so I do put that back. Decide to head over to, I guess, the electronics and appliances area. Historically, I've done pretty well in this area, and whenever I see a stack of identical brand new and packaged stuff, I'm gonna look. This is some kind of news ticker, and it's kind of dated technology. Whenever it came out, it was probably a really nice novelty. It's just not worth anything. I do see the Logitech speaker system here. They want $15 for it. It would sell for $30 shipped, so obviously no profit there to be had. We do have the other Logitech system that's like the 5.1 listed right now. This is a food processor from some kind of French company, and there's multiple listed for not high dollar, and it's actually none of them are sold through. So first off, I see these AC adapters, they're new in package, and they go to these alarm clocks that are behind them. So these are brand new, dead stock, basically discontinued merchandise. I did find a couple used comps selling in the 30s, but that's just the clock, not the adapter. So brand new in box, and if you want that AC adapter, I know that's going to be a pain to find anywhere else. I think I'm going to pair the clock, one adapter, make a quantity listing for 2 different sets, and sell them for $60 each. So you'll get an alarm clock and the AC adapter, so you don't have to run it off battery. That'll mean I'll have a little over with tax. I'll basically have $10 into each of them, and probably cost me about $10 to ship. So $20. We would have about, let's say, $10 in fees. So I would make $30 on times 2 there. So pretty nice pickup. I think it's pretty solid. I don't know how long it's going to take to sell them. There's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of competition to list against. There's no AC adapters, new or used, and also there is no new alarm clocks listed. This guy's $15, so I feel like it's kind of trended upward on some of the pricing here. There's still a lot of really good deals to be had at the store. I've just noticed kind of that trend. At $15, I do decide to pop on this purely because I think I can get about 50 shipped for it, and it should be a pretty light ship. I mean, probably priority still, unfortunately, but it's cool. I know it's an seen on TV product. People have said that they've had issues with Vero with that, and I've heard about that in the flipping community and reseller community, whatever. But I personally haven't had issues with as seen on TV products, so I don't know if it's just certain ones or how that works. But I have not, what a Vero is, it's basically eBay's way of covering their rears when it comes to intellectual property issues, and it's basically a no-no. Like enough Vero issues can lead to like a suspension of your eBay account. So going on here, of course, I noticed this plugged-in touch smart computer. Even for parts, I mean, it should be worth north of $140. There are I think I can fix it. It's honestly, I think it just needs restored. So like if I could get a restore disk or have to use like a USB drive or something like that to boot Windows on it. There's one that went for like $250. There's another that went for like $160 in working order. And I can pair a wireless keyboard and mouse with it when I sell it, because I pick those up all the time via Amazon returns. So I think this is a score because they only want $12.99 for it. I think it's an excellent pickup. I'll make good profit on it for sure. Even if I have to part it out, it still sells for a fair amount. And the sell-through is actually not terrible. But of course, then I noticed this KitchenAid above range microwave. This thing has a touchscreen. It is super fancy, guys. Yeah, definitely a fancy piece of equipment there. And I'm kind of confused on what to even do. So I normally don't buy big items at thrift stores. So the first thing, I'm trying to look for a model number here, and I'm not seeing one. It's probably underneath. However, this thing's so big. I get the guy, that runs this area of the store to give me a quick hand. And we pick it up, and it's actually not that crazy heavy. And we, set it down on a little table and plug it in to give it a test run. I know the comps I threw on the screen aren't the exact same one. I might even try to unload this locally. I do end up, it works. I end up paying $20 for it. So yeah, definitely doing that. And what happened was he put it in a cart and took it to the back, and I came around and picked it up after I paid for it. So $19.99 for that guy. It is missing the inner tray that goes that you would place your food on that spins around. However, I can either find one of those or just sell it without it. I know there's some people that want the fancy microwave and a fancy home, but don't want to spend high. Those things can go for like $2,000. I mean, I'm looking online and seeing it, and I'm just like, it's not. I haven't seen that specific one yet, but still blows my mind how much people would spend on that. But the thing is, you have to kind of separate your own spending habits when you're a reseller. So, for instance, I might never buy something, but it might be something that people are willing to spend money on, if that makes sense. So you have to kind of look at it as, is somebody willing to buy this, not what would I buy? Because I'm pretty frugal personally, and would definitely tend towards lower end items on a lot of things. In fact, sometimes I kind of pay the price in my personal life on that. But yeah, anyways, enough rambling. I do find this, it's like a flips, so it's a dragon and a unicorn. However, I do comp them out, and it's going to weigh over a pound, so I already know it's going to cost at least $8 if I could stuff that into a bubble mailer, and it's already $3, so I think there's no room for it. I do find these cool little dice games, again, something that's not really going to be very profitable. But here's about where my battery goes. So I'm going to touch on something a little bit different in a second here. So I was thinking about this quote that it's a very profound quote that, everybody has said throughout like finance and all of that online. They always bring it up. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Now, kind of morbid and a little bit of an exaggeration, but to prove a point. But, it does ring true to an extent. So I'm not going to say I agree with everything Warren Buffett's ever said, but obviously he knows quite a bit about money. So it is some pretty prudent advice. So I wanted to note that last night while I was sleeping, we made 9 sales. So we've rededicated ourselves to listing lately. And I'm going to make a kind of a point here. So for the last 4 or 5 days, this is just the March calendar, we've set a goal of 30 listings, $1,000 total gross per day. You need to be setting your listing goals if you're a reseller for what you want to be your sales goal. In fact, your listing goals really need to exceed where you want to be with things. So I want to make 30 sales a day. I want to make $1,000 per day in total gross. This is what you're going to need to do. One of the reasons I'm bringing this up is for the last half of last year, we were pretty successful in constantly hitting our listing goals, and we saw the growth of our store from nothing to, handling over $30,000 in gross sales a quarter, which is not a huge amount of money in the business world, and I'm not trying to make those claims. However, that's quite a lot of growth from scratch, from restarting in resale because of, the loss of my job. And the loss of my job, it wasn't something I didn't see coming. So, I had time to prepare. Hey, we need to cut back. We need to save more money. We need to do this. But you need to have a plan. Like, you don't want to just be dependent on an occupation necessarily. It's nice to have something on the side. I'm not saying that you need to do this full time, but my eventual goal is that, we are handling like 90,000 or more a quarter. So, that's going to require us to list at least $1,000 a day and 30 listings. And I think, that's what it's going to take to be successful for us. And you need to kind of find out where you want to be and work backwards to figure out the work that you need to put in to get there, if that makes sense. So let me know down in the comments what your listing goals are, what your sales goals are, what your life goals are. I mean, not everything's about eBay or resale. You might not even want to do it. You might not even want to do eBay. You might be perfectly content working, 8 to 5, and it has its pros. That absolutely does. So let me know what your goals are with that. Do you want to hear that? Also, guys, I'm trying to come up with enough questions to do a Q&A. I want to do it live. However, I need to have some preloaded questions too, just in case not enough people show up. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions about anything. It could be resale, it could be about me, it could be about my dogs. So let me know. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. Please like the video, subscribe, comment down below, turn on the bell notifications, and follow me on Instagram. It's @ProPickerOhio, where I kind of dive into this sort of content a little bit more often. And with that, guys, thank you so much for coming out and watching. Really appreciate the support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.